Now let me explain this using an analogy of the bowl and the sunlight. Imagine that all that exists is sunlight. It penetrates all beings and all things at all times. It's everywhere. It's interconnected. It's oneness. And when we put this bowl into the sunlight, we've captured a bit of sunlight inside the bowl. The sunlight inside the bowl is the individual consciousness. But is the sunlight inside the bowl any different to the sunlight outside the bowl? No, it's the same. It's all just one sunlight, but it just happens to be captured within the glass. It is all you for unity. But now each bowl imagines itself as a separate bit of consciousness, a separate being. Just as in quantum physics, everything in all realms is interconnected, there is a perception that it feels separate in our physical realm. If I was to break the glass bowl, the individual consciousness would merge with the sunlight, merge back into the one consciousness. Now what I'm referring to here are colloquially known as souls. So consciousness, an individual bit of consciousness, is a soul. And so when we talk about the sunlight, that is everywhere, that is the one giant soul. And when we capture a bit of that one giant soul inside the bowl, that is the individual soul. There is oneness, and there is also the many at the same time. Now this glass means that the individual consciousness identifies with something different. Before it was identifying with the one sunlight, now it's got a separate identification. And that means we come from more of a place of what's in it for me, the I-ness, the my-ness, the separateness. The more we come from our ego, then the thicker the glass within the bowl and the more separate we feel. More about this later. Now imagine billions of souls. Billions of bowls stretching as far as the eye can see in the spiritual realm. The oneness, the one sunlight, the one consciousness has now succeeded in creating the perception of many different beings. Now, when the soul is in the physical realm, it temporarily forgets that it is blue. The soul forgets that it's pure bliss and pure love and pure unity. And the souls in the bowl are stuck in an illusion. It is an illusion in the sense that consciousness can never not be bliss and love and connected to the whole. It's impossible. Take this sugar, for instance. Now, the nature of sugar is sweetness. Can the sugar ever not be sweet? No, that's just its nature. And so in the same way, the individual soul, the individual consciousness in the bowl will always be blissful and loving. It's just that it becomes forgetful of its nature. Just like a diamond that gets covered in dust. When you remove the dust, the diamond is always the same. Imagine the individual soul or consciousness is like a candle. In the spiritual realm, all there is light. There is no darkness. There is only blueness, bliss, love, unity, all existing eternally, like a sea of candles in the sun. The soul knows it is the light, but the soul can't experience itself as the light, because that's all there is, light. But is light really light if there is no darkness? Darkness can only exist in the physical universe. So now, when the soul comes into the physical realm, when the candle is put in a dark room, it can now experience itself as being the light. The polarities of dark and light, good and bad, right and wrong, can all exist now. The soul knew it was the light in the spiritual realm. It knew that it was blue. But now it can really experience itself as the light in the physical universe. Because in the physical universe, all the opposites of blue can now exist. Let's look at what those opposites of blue are. B for bliss. Unhappiness can exist in the physical realm now. As an example, this can be a fear of not getting what you want in life, leading to suffering. In this case, ignorance is definitely not bliss. L for love. The ultimate opposite polarity of love is fear. So every thought can essentially come from a place of love or a place of fear. It's like a scale. And the soul, in the physical realm, can experience all those different range of emotions in the physical universe. The same is also true for all the other opposites of blue. U for unity. The separate bowl in the sunlight now creates the illusion of disunity, loneliness, and separation. In fact, most of the problems in the world are down to how we divide and separate ourselves by nation or faith, rather than seeing ourselves as just all human beings.